Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. I actually wanted to make this video and the content surrounding this video a little while ago now, and I actually decided not to because there was so many other things going on, and I thought, let's just hold off on making this sort of video at the moment. And well, ever since the two Sydney nurses, the Islamic nurses, said what they said the other week, and then the radical anti-Semitism that we've been seeing plague the streets of many cities in Australia, I thought, you know what, let's make this video because it is a stark eye-opener. It really is, to show pretty much everybody that Australia is going down a very, very dangerous and dark path if we allow Islam to take over in Australia. Because the Islamists will say, oh, we're all peaceful, we're all about assimilating, but really they're not. Ever since the events of October 7th, we've seen so many attacks on the Jewish people. It's absurd. And to me, watching on as an Australian, I don't want there to be conflict in my country at all between any group of people. But the fact is, we're going to get a crazy war started in this country because you have these radical people that a certain group of individuals. And we're starting to see it on full display. Not just that, ladies and gentlemen, but it is rather absurd when you have an entire community, an entire suburb, no less as well, that is all Muslim. And if you are a white woman, you cannot actually walk down the street and feel comfortable or feel safe in that area in Australia, no less. And in fact, you can be arrested and charged for a disturbance of the peace, believe it or not, because you are disturbing Islamic people. See, that's what I mean about what's going on in Australia. We have politicians, we have the police that are too scared to do anything. If you've got these people that don't like or actually another group of people, and it's clear as day, which is what we saw with the nurses' video and what they will do to Jewish patients if they were to come in, and they actually admitted to doing it, even though there's no evidence they did, but they bragged about it. So to me, I'm looking at that going, we've got that in a healthcare system. There's another doctor that has since resigned. We've got countless other doctors as well, and medical professionals that are coming out in full support of Palestine and what Hamas did. You have an entire suburb, Lakemba, which we know there's a Lakemba mosque, which is one of the major mosques in Australia. They since came out with a statement, if you guys saw the other video that I made, and it was ridiculous because it actually shocked me. I admitted it several times in the video. It shocked me that you got them actually saying that what the two Islamic nurses said, oh, it's the fault of the Zionists. It's very laughable, isn't it? But it's actually dangerous. It's scary. They'll blame everything on Islamophobia, saying that the media was Islamophobic. Islam is not a race. It's a religion. I don't have a rational fear towards Christians or any other religion, for that fact. They don't want me in my own damn country. And same thing for this woman that walked bravely down the streets of Lakemba and was almost arrested for her safety, apparently. Crazy situation. Now, obviously, this took place a little while ago, but this is happening still in Australia. Imagine me, right? I know I'm a white male, not a female. There's a big difference if you're a white female walking down the streets of Lakemba. But even still, if I was to walk down the streets of Lakemba, I'm not Muslim. I'm not their ethnicity at all. Can you imagine how they would look at me? And it's my country. I'm a citizen. Have a watch of this. This may actually scare you, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm headed to an area called Lakemba in Sydney, Australia, and it's supposed to be a very high Muslim population area. As soon as we arrived in Lakemba, things were tense. There were heads turning, people coming out of shops to look at us and find out what we were doing. Men started yelling in Arabic across the street at us. As we went to go for a walk to the local mosque, a very high-ranked police officer came up to me and begged with me, do not go there.
Is it?
Speaking.
Inspector Rick Ages from Campsie Police.
Yep.
I've been informed that you're intending to attending the Lakemba Mosque. Is that correct?
I actually have no intentions of attending. I was just planning on walking through the streets and seeing how the culture was here.
Yes?
Yep.
Are you satisfied with that?
Yep.
So where do you intend on walking to now?
I was just going to walk out and check how the mosque was.
Check where the mosque was?
Yep. Would I not be allowed to attend if I wanted to?
I've got grave concerns that you may cause an imminent breach of the peace down there, so I'm asking you not to attend.
Why would I cause a breach of the peace?
Because it's highly religious down there.
So would it be me causing a breach of the peace, or would it be the people there?
Well, your presence may cause them to be, be objective to your attending there.
No, you fear people will be offended by me.
No, yeah.
Yes, thank you.
And you're committing a breach of the peace. I've given you that. And if you do that, you may be breaking the law. Do you understand that?
Yep, I understand it. I perfectly understand. As far as I'm concerned, you have Sharia law here. As far as I'm concerned.
Imagine that woman, a white woman, goes and stands near a mosque, doesn't walk inside the mosque, stands near the mosque, and she's apparently causing a breach of the peace because these Muslims get offended about the fact that she's a white woman. And it goes against what the Quran says. She must have her head covered. The way Muslims, a vast majority of them, treat the women is quite absurd, if you ask me. If they actually follow with the full law, I guess you could call it, of the Quran, you'll know exactly how women are treated. You don't have to look too far. Just look at it in Afghanistan, for goodness sake, and what's happening to women over there. They're taking it to the nth degree, right? It's crazy. But in Australia, this shouldn't be the case. Just because you've got your religion in another country doesn't mean that you discriminate against another race or another group. And that's what they're doing. So by you saying you're offended by a white woman because she's not following your religion and the rules of your religion, so to speak, then apparently you get offended by it. How does that work exactly? Well, in case you were wondering, it doesn't really work. But the problem is you've got law enforcement, like this officer, that is enforcing it because he's afraid about what's going to happen when the Muslims retaliate, which is usually what happens, or if they get irate. And the police, they don't want to deal with that. So instead, they just ask, no, don't go anywhere near there. If you do, I'm going to arrest you because I'm actually deep down, not deep down, just like surface level, I'm really scared of them because God forbid that we actually side with our own damn people. God forbid that we actually do the right thing and the Muslims get upset and irate and they attack. Oh, no. Islam in Australia at the moment, what I'm seeing, it's scary, man. Can only imagine what this woman would have been feeling and thinking as she walked through the streets of Lakemba. Islamists, I guess you could call them. So this just goes to show you, ladies and gentlemen, how far Australia has fallen and allowing, the problem is Pauline Hanson warned us about this many, many years ago. Did we listen? No, we didn't listen. Just, let them in. Come on. Oh, we're peaceful. We're peace-loving people. We'll look after this country as well. We'll assimilate. Yeah, right. Okay. Then October 7th happened. And then what goes on? Like, you've got to be kidding me. Now, I'll say it again. I do have Muslim friends. Okay. And when they see this kind of stuff, they don't like it. They don't agree with what any of the Sydney nurses said or what. They're actually peaceful people. They're some of the nicest people I've ever met in my life. Some of the most giving people I've ever met. And they're horrified, obviously, with what's happened to the Palestinian people. And I get that, but you can't really change it. But they wouldn't do anything to harm anyone. And I think we need more people like that, right? You're allowed to have your faith. But when you take it to the extreme and you start harming other people, no. We call it out and call it for what it really is. It's a death cult. Now, my friends that are Muslim, they're not following what the Quran says. They're just Muslim because they're Muslim. They choose to follow, I guess, because their family did. The Muslim by default, in a way. And they haven't really sought out anything else. But that being said, my friends, like, if you have Muslim people that want to truly assimilate and are not going to be radical, fine. You're more than welcome. It'd be like if Christians were radical and Christians went out and attacked, and Christians, yeah, it'd be the same thing. I condemn evil when I see it. I condemn Christians as well for things they say. I'm not like they're Christians, so I'm not going to condemn them for what they've said or what they've done. I will criticize and I will point out where I see things are wrong. And that's what I'm doing now. I'm saying Islam in Australia is scary and it can be a problem if we allow it to continue. Albanese just wants the Muslim vote. At what cost? Anyway, that's enough from me, but you guys take care. You be blessed, and I'll see you all in the next video.